We're gonna start the meeting. All right, October 16, 2023, Cemetery Committee meeting. Everybody has a copy of the agenda meeting item for tonight and the meeting minutes from July. Does everybody want to just do a quick glance on the meeting minutes from last meeting? See if there's anything different or... All right, let's jump into it then. Any questions on the meeting minutes? Any further notes or anything? We'll talk about some of the stuff, I think, in the old business anyway, so. Old business. So we did a couple more cleanups since July, at least two more. Over at Remick again, and the Young Cemetery up on Youngs Ridge Road. The Young Cemetery was the last one we did a couple weeks back. Really wasn't a cleanup per se, but we fixed one of the big headstones, Mary Grant's in-laws, his stone. Yeah, you guys, you were there, and Ken was. Mary Grant's in-laws stone was huge granite stone, fell over, probably because of all the heavy-duty traffic that's been going up and down that road. And it took a lot of work. Marcia brought a tripod out, and you guys probably broke your backs changing, get that thing up, right? So there was like, what, 3 or 4 hours just to get that?
Yeah, because they're underneath, they had used a cobble rocks down there, and then they poured cement over it. So we had to chip away about a 3-foot section of the cement and stone away for a while, for an hour or so, and then we were able to
get it back up and running.
Yeah.
So actually, one of the descendants, or one of the young relatives, whatever, last year told us about that, Mike Young. He jumped on Facebook and said, hey, you guys are gonna fix this? And at the time, we didn't know about that. So it took us a year, but Mike ended up showing up and giving you guys a hand just about when I was leaving. So I'm sure he was pretty ecstatic about that, right?
Yes.
So, good. Yeah, so I don't know, that those two stones must have weighed a ton, probably.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yes.
So, got that up and running. Tracy and I found a bunch of footstones to a bunch of other headstones that are up, and all these footstones were all inside a little plot. So we dug them out, and we'll get them back where they belong. They were probably removed years and years ago because they're in the way for cutting grass, which is unfortunate, but we're gonna try to get that fixed. And that should be an easy fix one of these days. Remick, so we've done a lot more work on Remick. Most of the stones are up. Ken has done a whole lot of that on his own. There's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 more that need to be finished, and then all the stones will be done. We recently had, so I'll jump down to the last old business thing, stump grinding. We had the stumps ground down. Have you guys gotten to see that yet?
Yes.
And everybody here has? Yep. So, it's phenomenal. It really just, I was telling them before you guys got here, it's like the cherry on top. I didn't realize how much it would affect me. Just like, wow, it needs some more landscaping and, a little bit more work, but it's phenomenal, so.
I just wanted to touch base on the Remick Cemetery and the Young Cemetery. The stone that I took home, the how do you pronounce it? Say it again?
Mehitable.
Thank you. The more and more I look at her stone on my workbench, I think it's gonna be a stone that's gonna have to be replaced in the future, because even her name with the recessed panel and, the raised lettering, you can hardly read what it is, and all her important information, death date and everything is it's not there. So in the future, we might want to think about getting her a replacement stone maybe, but I'm still thinking whether to epoxy and do the Lithomex, because either way, her stone it needs to be replaced, but I'm still undecided whether I'm going to spend the time to epoxy it or just put it back as right
Okay.
there. But I'm leaning towards doing it, but
Yeah, and, as far as replacements go, we'd probably have to do like a full-size one, because there's a lot of information on that stone. Like the one that we put in for James Durrell, there was just like 3 lines.
Yeah.
So, with hers, there might be a lot more. We've got to look at it, figure things out. And maybe we can find some family members that maybe pony up some funds for that.
Right up the street.
Up the street, yep. And then going back to the Young Cemetery too, as far as stones, so we had Mary Grant's mom had a stone made for her, and that was replaced a few months ago. We did that, and then when we're putting that in, he found Mary Grant's dad, who had no markings anywhere. So we had one of the replacement stones that we had made, we had bought, is now, that's in place for Mary Grant's dad. So all her folks are there. Let's see here. Swearing in, so I know I swore in back in June or something, or July, whatever it is. Did you guys swear in as well?
Yes, yep.
No.
No, you did not? All right. We'll get on down here sometime this
Yeah.
week and have Jen hook you up. New headstones, I think I just talked about that. Tree work at the Goodwin Cemetery on Route 109 near Willie's. So that's our big ticket item that we've said we were gonna work on. Last year, we didn't have enough funds in the extra surplus account there to take care of that cemetery, take those trees down, and a bunch of other ones that we're working on. This one's probably gonna take up about half of the big fund that we got from the town meeting. One of the quotes, we had to get another quote, because the company the crane company that the tree company was using fell through, and they had to get another company for the crane, and that like significantly increases expenses. And then we do have another quote from another company, or actually 2 other quotes from 2 other companies, and one of those companies does have a crane. So I submitted all that, those 3 quotes to Kelly to get to the board so they can approve of that getting done. Kelly's on vacation till like the 24th, so hopefully next week we'll hear yes, no, or otherwise, or how that works. So I don't know when those trees at Goodwin will be taken down, and it should include that big old pine in the corner, which lost quite a few branches this past winter and stuff. So that's gonna be like a full day job. They're gonna bring the crane in there and not touch the headstones, because they're all over the place. So
So are they gonna use the main road, 109 as it, or are they gonna use the
Yeah, the-
driveways of the
I don't
resident?
know.
Because when me and Jim went there to do a quote, I forget which one we went there for, he had explained that he had a 90-foot reach, and if he could use the driveway to the right, he could get half the trees out.
Yeah.
If he could use the property to the left, he could reach enough safely to.
yeah, without blocking traffic.
And you wouldn't be touching the power lines either, because they'd be going side to side and not towards the power line.
Okay. I know you and I both know Scott Mitchell.
Yeah, I know Scott. Scott, he already said, we could, talk to him again, but I already talked to him and he said he was okay with it.
Okay, good. And I met the other guy, the other neighbor, once a couple of years back, but yeah, we should definitely check in with
Because that
him.
might reduce the price a little. Because once you get out on 109, they have to bring in a flagging crew
Yeah.
and everything like that.
So, yeah,
So if they could use the driveways, then.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hopefully, before before the end of this fiscal year, those trees will be gone, so. And as far as right now, I don't see, they should cut them at grade. We had issues with the previous, company that took care of Remick and, the one on Goose Pond where they didn't cut them at ground level.
Well, how close are the stones to some of these
Yeah, some of these trees are
the
pretty, are kissing cousins,
Yeah.
so, but these guys, that's what they do, so, they always run into obstacles in the way or whatever, so.
It would be good with a crane because they'll hold it
Yes.
as
We
they
could
cut
always,
it.
we could always do a site survey, walk through it, and then if there's any stones that we think may be touched, and if they are just loosely in the base, we could always just remove it right prior to that and
Yeah,
put it off in a safe distance a little bit. but
Yeah, once we get a heads up on, when we can do this, when we can hire somebody and then what their schedule's like, then we'll get all hot on that, like we did with Remick, and moving all the stones. Yeah, 3 of us on a cold October day. So, that's it for, old business there. New business. I'm still up for another cleanup or two, if anybody is. Don't look at me like that.
Nope.
Nope.
We kind of,
Y'all
we've-
burned out?
We filled our plates again yesterday.
All right.
so-
We should have the meeting earlier. So, no, that's good.
We're gonna discuss that part,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right. I'll do it. I'll do it by myself. I don't care, but,
We'll see what happens, but,
yeah. No, if anybody's interested in, meeting for a few hours on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever it might be, let's just get out there and do some more stuff. Or you can, go solo and work on stuff. I know Ken
Yeah.
does that all the time, so. Winter work. I was telling somebody the other day that, like, January and February are like the only months that I don't go out. Even, I even sometimes will go out in the snow time and, I'll cut some small trees down, and I'll come back in the springtime and there's a whole bunch of little tree stumps that are like 3 feet up, because that's where the snow was. So, if you feel the urge to get out there and, get out of the house and cut some stuff down or whatever, go for it. Or we could always do, genealogy kind of stuff, or updating, find a grave, or any kind of the records that we do have, so. Amy Merrow, was hoping to be here tonight, because she's been trained at MOCA with Ken and Marcia. She's taking care of a lot of her family stones throughout, York County. They're cleaning them up and stuff like that. She was hoping to come here tonight and maybe become a board member. I know she's got to go through the town and do that sort of stuff, but she's all pumped up about this. And she was talking to Caden, who owns the Merrill Cemetery over on French Road, or French and Fox's Ridge. And I guess he might be selling the property. I know he was trying to get rid of his horses. And he's been a great homeowner, letting us in and do what we got to do. But I don't know if and when that property might be sold. But whoever is going to be selling it, whoever the realtor is, we need to touch base with them. 'Cause not all realtors know about the cemetery laws, or care. So the previous homeowner, clearly those were big issues, that are gone now, but whoever might be coming in, we're gonna establish the rights and responsibilities of the town and the state and the homeowners and the whole 9 yards, so. Plus Amy, she's a descendant, or her husband is, of that family that's there, and they don't have a right to keep her out, so. So, if you guys remember the Merrill Cemetery, there's only like 4 or 5 stones that are like, marble or whatever with somebody's name on them. But there's like a set of like 18 or whatever of field stones. She has done some research. She has found some of those names.
good.
good.
So, yeah, she's like, Supergirl there, so.
This is the one that had the chain, and we put the chain back.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, we did say something about breaking in on the side and making a opening in that stone wall to get to it, so we don't have to do what we've been
Right.
doing.
Yeah, so we gotta talk with.
Make sure to ask the homeowners if we can still do that.
Yeah, so actually, she and I are gonna meet over there tomorrow. She's gonna take some measurements, because she's like, this is, my cemetery, my family cemetery, whatever. She wants to take care of the chain fence. That one tree that is dead, she's got a friend that takes trees down and try to get that knocked out before anything gets sold. That's good. So, yeah, I'll meet her tomorrow, like at 3 o'clock, if anybody else is available and wanna come over there. So she might be taking some of the stones that are down and broken right now, and hopefully not covered in horse poo, and fix those, take them home like you did, and possibly get them cleaned up and fixed up. I don't know if they're fixable. I can't remember if they were still just crappy chunks of marble, or if they're still, if they're,
I'd have to look at the photos again.
Yeah,
I've been
so-
in so many cemeteries since then.
They all blend together after a while.
yeah, so. So that's her property, or her cemetery there. And then she's the new board member question that I had, going on there. Any other new business, some of these, actually, have you gotten hold of that lady that did something with Parsonsfield? Jane, remember? She was supposed to do some kind of genealogy thing, or,
Talking about the one that me and you talked about with the lady from,
Oh, Jess?
yeah.
yes,
Jess.
yes. Any word with her?
The only thing that we left off at is she had a free session and then there was a paid session, and right now, we were just gonna worry about that next year at some
Okay.
point,
Right.
setting something up.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
cool.
is a school teacher, so it was difficult for her to do something during a weekday or a weeknight at the Historical Society, so I do have to get back to her to let her know that, yeah, we
We
would
could do it
prefer
on
to
a
do
weekend.
a small session.
Yeah. And then if we feel that she can, whatever her extended one is down the line, but I think you'll get enough from just her basic. She's she'll join with us, I think.
Where does she live?
She's out of the, you had to ask me that. I keep on forgetting the name of it out there.
And I know she's not close.
Okay.
No, it's up past the Parsons Field somewhere. She belongs to the Historical Society. It starts with a B up in that area.
Baldwin?
Bridgeton?
I think
It
it's
was
Baldwin.
Baldwin is
Baldwin,
like West Baldwin, East Baldwin.
Hold on, I
Yeah.
gotta,
On the way to Freiburg?
Yeah,
I went there last week.
45,
Yeah,
50-minute drive.
oh, Brownsfield Historical.
Okay.
She's the
Yeah.
president
Yeah.
of
It's
Brown,
even further.
Browns, sorry,
Because
Brownsfield.
Baldwin is before Brownfield.
Yeah, that town burned nicely in the 47 fire.
Burned nicely.
Burned very nicely.
I don't think the town folk thought that was nice, but
Yeah. What else? Any other new business?
I have a couple ideas.
Okay.
What could we do so we're more efficient and we're not all over the place? Like going into each of the cemeteries in this town, mapping them, and then prioritizing what needs to be done that would be important to that cemetery, and have an agenda of what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I
Perfect
brought,
segue too, so I'll join on with that in just a
yeah,
minute.
I think I brought that up last year, something we should do this year.
I know, but we're right
out.
out, but
Yeah,
we're gonna
but
have
yeah.
to do something, and I was wondering, besides that, is having some kind of schedule for cemetery cleanup, so we don't get these messages at the last minute, say, I'm gonna do a cleanup today, or this weekend, and then we can have a program lined up. Like the month of May for me, I know would be out for me, because I'm out straight. But if we could somehow pick a day or a weekend out of each month and say, this is the date, and it's on file.
Yeah, we can do that. We can maybe talk offline on that one, and
Yeah.
everybody compares calendars and stuff like that, and what they're going on for next year. I'm all for that, and, you know, as many as we can get. If we
Yeah.
do the one a month at least, that would be
And
great.
I think that would be something to start, and then maybe our schedules won't be, like my summer's been way out this year, it's been unbelievable. So if we can have a plan going into next year, I think it'll benefit all of us. What do you guys think?
absolutely.
I'm a one that likes a schedule plan, and
Same
my
here.
calendar for next month and part of December is already booked. Oh, by the way, I want you to know how nice the building looks. I'll be glad when you get the next coat on it, though. If not this year, but I mean,
Heard plenty of flack over the
Yeah,
color.
he's gotten some thumbs down, so,
For
Oh,
the
you-
color,
because the primer is,
it's just primer, though.
but they don't know that.
yeah.
They think it's the.
Why don't you just put a
They don't
big thing,
read Facebook.
Facebook, primer?
Yeah, put it on
I
the
did.
sign.
Yeah,
I already put it on Facebook that it was prime, not
And
the
say
final
it's
coat.
not done, but just, it's an improvement,
Yes,
just the way it is.
absolutely.
Or just put a middle finger emoji.
We don't
I'd
have
like-
one yet.
I got another thing too. So I was thinking about, especially at Remick, where we have a couple of older stones, the slate stones, and the broken ones that we would like to somehow display. Maybe we can make some kind of like platform out of like 2x, maybe pressure treated or something, where if we can't, like the slate stones, if we can't put them in the ground, standing up, maybe we can have them like those tablet kind of gravestones where it's flat, but I don't want it flat with the ground, because it's gonna get overgrown and.
Call those like a memorial bed, like they do in Louisiana. You know, it's a little cement type thing and it's raised up out of the ground.
Yeah, so
It's
it's,
one of those. I can't think, that's not the proper name for it, but that's what I think of.
yeah, I'd like to somehow display whatever the old stone is, if it's a full stone, or if it's a bunch of chunks. I know Joe had said, maybe bury them, and I don't
No.
like that, so.
No.
Anyway, we could come up with a design or what material it needs to be, but,
You know what I mean, though, by that?
Yeah.
It's like, the headstone used to be there, and then it would have a little bed in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if we somehow raise it up enough, then it sits up enough for
yeah.
it.
That way it's not gonna sink in or get covered in grass and junk like that, so. But yeah, we could work on the design later on.
And I'm gonna try to
So-
work on the Remick stone wall. That's my next thing in between things.
Okay. Yes,
So segue into what she was saying about mapping. So my buddy Blair has just upgraded his drone for two folds. One, he's got it set up for heat, for looking for heat and stuff, which doesn't help us with the cemeteries, but it helps us with other things. But it's all set up so he can basically fly in over anything and map and do whatever you want to do, precise. So, and he wants to do that. So the best time is really when the leaves aren't the thickest. So I'm thinking it's beginning of spring after the snow's out, where we can get in there. He likes the winter the best, but that doesn't help us to find stones.
What about now when the leaves fall off? Could he get?
When the leaves are gone
Yeah.
is another really good time.
Yeah,
But it's supposedly, he believes it's big enough. It's an upgraded drone meant for carrying heavy things. It's got 54 minutes of flight time, and it is much bigger than most drones. But he's checking right now to see if it can handle the package for the LiDAR, for the ground penetrating. So we're in contact with that company, because they also sell that program as well. So we're trying to see if we can get the LiDAR. If we can get that, then it's game changer as far as finding anything.
yeah.
As far as depth, and I think it goes like 30 feet or 40 feet deep.
Good grief.
Obviously,
Oh,
you
that-
don't need that.
Yeah.
But that's what the capacity is. So Blair wants to become part of the group, so I'm gonna set him up to do that, and he had that back surgery, that's done, so he's healthy enough to move around now to do that stuff.
now when you say the drone thing, is that a thing that takes a picture?
It could do video, it could do
So-
in satellite quality.
Okay, so we can see what is written on the stones if they're down, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, he can.
Okay,
It's pretty incredible. Tracy's wore the goggles, so you can also fly it around just by looking, but
Yeah.
we don't need to do that. We're trying to map and,
yeah,
yeah, but he's extremely talented at it, so.
Yeah, till we get that up and running. Ken's got some dowsing rods, and they work.
Yeah,
They do work.
That's some craziness, so.
did you make me one?
No,
What's the matter with you?
they were made for me.
Oh,
Did you have any luck with that bone over at Goose Pond?
No, Joe, was supposed to, get contact with Paul in Sanford.
I'd like to see some dowsing rods or drone work over at Goose Pond. Because there's gotta be something there we just haven't seen yet.
well, that's what's interesting with drones, like whoever's flying it, is you start to see indentations because you're up in the air looking down that you don't see at ground level
Correct.
unless you're in the right light. So
Yeah.
it's interesting, and I was dabbling in my mind whether heat, if you'd be able to see any differences where there was like the ground was different or not. I don't know till I get to look at some of the footage. I know LiDAR will definitely tell us.
But that's not heat, LiDAR is density.
Yeah, the two completely, it's got topographical, mapping capabilities as well, which is what will be useful for us.
But a good test would be on the Goose Pond area, because now the trees are all gone from that area. So it's not like he'd be contending with a canopy above it.
Correct.
yeah.
No.
He's
That-
itching to
Yeah,
do something, so,
that'd be a good one to practice on anyhow.
yeah.
see if there is any obstructions underneath.
So going back to your priority list of work, I like how we really focused on the Remick this year. And like last year, like, let's get this stupid thing done.
I know, but, and I've had a lot of people come to me and say how nice it is.
Yeah, so-
And everything, and Ken's done an awesome job doing those stones by himself, and the lady that helped you with that big heavy one, Marcia. Yeah,
Marcia Westcott.
because that's hard, heavy work.
But yeah, if we can, I mean, you know.
I wanna I'm gonna start working on the rock wall, and I'm gonna go see a person and see if I can get him to help me.
Okay.
I can do it myself, but, I don't think there's enough rocks in the front.
No. And the stump guy might have some rocks. I don't know if he's gonna sell them to us or donate or whatever. I'll check in with him, but.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if we can, you know, pool our resources together and figure out what project cemetery next year, and, you know, put, 75% of our effort on that, so it pops.
Well, me and Tracy were talking a little yesterday, and this should be the next, thing in the Remick Cemetery, is getting some soil in there to
Yeah.
even thing out, and then.
Landscape it.
What was the landscape that you wanted to do?
So ground cover, either the.
Right,
like
phlox or-
Phlox
Yeah.
or the periwinkle.
yeah,
So that's
either
something
one
that-
of
Cover
those,
that you don't need to mow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But either one of those would work.
Yep.
The stump grinders, you know, they, all the stuff that they left, you know, they smoothed out a lot of it.
Yeah, and that'll compost
And that's
perfectly.
a professional person, knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was,
Even noticed that they were in there.
Yeah, it did such a good
Except for the
job.
photos, I didn't know that they were inside.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
and he sent me pictures too of when they were, you know, hey, this stump's done, and, you know, I could see, so they have this screen that they put up to keep stuff from, you know,
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
that
things
makes
go
it-
flying when he's doing grinding, and I'm not even close, and I'm getting pegged off with these
Yeah.
big chips of wood, so definitely need eye protection when you do that.
yeah, they do.
As far as the building a set of stairs going in there, I've gotta change a bunch of stuff at her mother's house, and they have a bunch of stairs that are basically the cobbles, for the curbs. They're old curb
Yeah, yeah.
stones, so
Yeah.
they're like 3.5 or 4 feet. And her dad used them to make steps. So eventually I've gotta take those out. So when I do that, I think we'd only need 3 or 4 of those, and we
Yeah.
could put a really nice granite staircase going in the
So
front.
we'll have just a one entrance going up through the middle
Yeah,
then.
yeah, I mean, that's the best place for
Yeah.
it, but that'll in my mind,
Yes.
that would really
Yeah.
highlight the cemetery.
Yeah, it would.
And then at least the stones are being used for a noble cause.
Yeah,
Are they newer granite stones or the older?
No, they're newer, but you can't see it because I built a stone wall in their yard out of them and I use those as the base. They're tapered on one side and square on the other. I left the square end out and the tapered side into the dirt.
yeah.
Because Linda, the lady that owns Grammy Rose, she's been talking to some company in New Hampshire. I think they're supposed to get a couple of granite pillars or whatever
They're
for,
expensive.
I think they're donating.
Uprights
But if they're donating,
for
that's
the
incredible.
entrance,
Yeah.
you mean?
For the stairs, for a couple
Yeah,
of
oh,
stairs.
that's
If they're getting a
awesome.
donation, that's incredible, but if you try to buy that stuff, it's out of this world expensive.
Yeah, so yeah, we still got more work to do over there and get a sign and, you know, finish it all up, but it's 1,000 times better than it was when we were talking about a year ago. So,
I'm pleased.
yeah, so, yeah, we'll pick another one for next year and focus on that, and just keep pecking away, so. What else? What other new business? Other business?
You grabbed the weed whacker with the blade on it, correct?
Yeah, I
You gave me
think-
the correct one?
Yeah, I think so,
I know.
yeah.
Grab the one in the garage that you said was
Smaller
there.
one.
I don't know, I've got multiple ones that I
Okay.
don't use.
Yeah, I think the blade was like kinda dull, cause I couldn't
It's
like,
probably dull, cause I hit a lot of rocks with it,
yeah.
but if it's got a blade, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna
Got a
make sure you
blade.
got the right one, cause I'm reading.
Not a
it
string.
here.
Yeah. Next meeting. When do you guys wanna meet next? Calendar.
I did talk with Robin Ham the other morning about the Young Cemetery and then the one that's up near his house. About how
Yep.
they footstones were strewed, and he said that they were like that already when he took over, so.
Yeah.
But I did let him know that they were being put back in place, so he
Yeah.
says he'll watch out for them.
It's like the ones we found at Young, they'd been there for a while. Like, we
Yeah.
barely saw like
Those are the
part of one.
ones That he's
Yep.
talking about, that he's gonna
That's
put
why,
them back.
that's why probing is very important when you get in
Yeah.
the cemetery.
We really didn't even need to, they
I
were
know,
sticking
and
up out of the
that's what
ground.
I'm saying.
It's like, oh, there's one. Oh, no, there's another one. It's like, stop looking, Steve.
Yeah,
Stop
right.
looking.
Yeah,
That should maybe, I don't know if it's something that I'll get to this year when I get time here just to dump into, but maybe that's something next year we could get all those footstones in both those cemeteries in, because everyone could do that. That's not,
yeah.
you don't need to be trained in that. Get some kids involved, have them do some easy stuff.
Yeah,
What about December?
December. Monday, the 25th, how about that?
Yep.
No.
Won't be seeing anything.
Christmas. Yeah, I just caught that.
Or do you wanna just go start with January? I just thought if we can get one more thing in and have something to decide what cemetery or whatever, so when we have a meeting in January.
Yeah, maybe we can meet, onesies and twosies, or
Yeah.
5 of us, whatever, and hit the mean woods and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
do some site surveys on site, and
Yeah.
look at these and like, figure it out. Want to do like, I don't know, like middle of January?
I don't have a January. What's the date?
The 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd and 29th are Mondays. Monday's still good for everybody?
So January 15th?
But the last one. was good to me.
29th?
Yeah.
So actually, I think the 15th is,
Martin Luther King?
yeah, so
That's probably what that says, that I can't read.
that says New Year's Day. Martin Luther King, there we go. So, you want to go for January 29?
No. I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry,
All right, so what's the first, January 8th?
8th?
That's, you want to do that one? I'll remind you,
All
Ken.
right. I'll check in with Jen, make sure this place is available, so.
January 8th, 2024.
The last Monday of the month is
Oh,
Kennel
your
Club,
dogs,
so
yeah, so.
Yeah.
I could make it, but I'd be like breaking a lot of speed limits to get home, to get on the Zoom.
No, that's fine.
You need me to do anything as far as the treasurer yet?
Yeah, maybe just to get the monthly, budget accounts, balances. So we have the $3,000,
Where'd you
How
get
do I
your dowsing
go about
things?
getting the paperwork? Should I talk
Are they
to
the
Ken?
same as
I don't
water
have-
Kelly,
dowsers?
do you have Kelly's? I'll send you her email.
Sure.
One of the students
Yeah, then I can
from
come in and meet with her or something, and
Ray.
get everything and get moving.
And just make sure we don't like.
joined me at
Too much
the
money.
Oakdale Friends Group.
Okay.
Y'all good?
Now, are they made out of
All
willow?
right, that adjourns the meeting.
Okay,
Bye-bye, thank you.
thank you.
Copper.
It's made out of copper?